She is beauty and she is breathing. Put yourself in her roots. Her feet are buried deep in the cool soil and her roots sprawling out like long, curious toes. Her bark protects her skin from the elements, just as our skin protects ours. Her veins pulse sap around her body, just as blood is pumped around ours. This statuesque beauty is one of thousands here in the forest of Mount Cole in Victoria's central west. Often unnoticed or forgotten, despite the abundance of life she creates and supports. The powerful owl with her slow, deep, double hoots and high beam eyes. The bright red flowering shrub, the Mount Cole grevillea, above roots found in these forests and nowhere else on earth. The flame robin, one of astounding 130 kinds of birds that coast through these canopies. Trees use scent to talk to one another and other forest residents. Imagine the stories they could tell if you could speak their language. This forested landscape of Mount Cole and the Pyrenees ranges once stretched much further and wider than it does today. What little now remains now supports the majority of biodiversity, the birds, reptiles, plants, insects and us. But what remains is not safe. These trees and the small but mighty worlds that depend on them are literally on the chopping block. Logging is occurring right now in these forests of Mount Cole. The federal and state governments have a special agreement to log these native forests of the Central West. Our environmental laws would usually protect this habitat and the wildlife that depends on it. But this special contract, known as a regional forest agreement, basically switches off these laws, leaving the powerful owls, the Wimmera River, the grevillea and all the other wonders of the West vulnerable to logging. We need more of our habitats protected, and we need them protected now. These threats might loom large, but at the end of the day, they're just decisions made by people. And these decisions can be changed if enough people stand up and speak out for them. We need to recognise the wealth of these forests and act for them, because if we don't, who is going to then be the voice for the powerful owl or the Mount Cole grevillea or the Wimmera River? It is wrong and senseless to send plants and animals extinct, but it isn't illegal. A new national park is one of the best ways to protect our wildlife against logging, development and damaging uses that profit a handful at the expense of all of us. But until our elected representatives decide to create a park refuge for Mount Cole and the Central West, none of this is safe. A national park returns nature to us all to look after and restore, to take care of as stewards and custodians. Mount Cole is a small but iridescent gem in this fragmented landscape. So let's shine a light on the forgotten forests of Mount Cole. And how can we make this happen? By asking the Victorian Government to implement new national parks for Mount Cole and the Central West of Victoria right now, and do not delay. And in the words of David Attenborough, we too rely on the natural world for every mouthful of food that we eat and every lungful of air that we breathe.